Hello, students. Welcome to Easy Elimu Learning Simplified. I am your teacher, Mr. Stanley Ombogo. So, dear students, again, we are having another interesting and interactive session. That is when it comes to the analysis of a silent song, that is the anthology, A Silent Song and Other Stories. So, in today's analysis, dear students, we are going to look at that is the eighth story that is also that we also have in this collection or compilation of stories, that is A Silent Song and Other Stories. So we are coming across again another Kenyan author. Remember, we read the second story, that was An Incident in the Park by Meja Mwangi. So the eighth story that we are going to talk about, dear students, is Talking Money. And Talking Money is that is written by Stanley Gazemba. So Stanley Gazemba is from Kenya. It happens that he is my namesake. So so the author is Stanley Gazemba. So maybe some brief information that that I have about the author. So we are told that Stanley Gazemba is a Kenyan native born in 1974 in Vihiga, Kenya. So he is the author of some three books. That is The Stone Hills of Maragoli, that was released in the United States of that is as for Forbidden Fruit. We have got Karma. Then we also have Calloused Hands. So apart from the three books that I've mentioned, we are also told that Stanley Gazemba has written, 8 books for kids, including Aske in the Village. So, which was awarded the 2015 Jomo Kenyatta Prize for children's fiction. So he has worked on, other literary pieces, not only those that I've mentioned, but we are told that he has also worked on, really awesome literary pieces that have been, some of them have been anthologized in collections of stories from different parts. So in addition to that is the stories that Stanley Gazemba has written, we are also told that having trained as a journalist, Gazemba has written for publications that is such as the New York Times, the East African, we have Msani Magazine, Sunday Nation, and Saturday Nation. So we also know that in 2007, there was also that is the Breadloaf Writers Conference International. Fellow was Gazemba, so he also carried the day then, that is some years back. So that is the brief information that maybe I can talk about when asked anything about the author, that is Stanley Gazemba. So he lives in Nairobi, and we also told that he's the editor of Ketable Music. So let's look at the title of this story, that is Talking Money. So when you talk about the title, Talking Money, I want us to look at it in two perspectives. That is the first perspective. I'd like us to look at that is we look at the title based on a literary level. Then we are also going to try and look at the title that is on now a figurative level. So let me begin with the first one. That is the title Talking Money is very fitting for the story because it is both literal and figurative. So on the literal level, the money. So we have a character. We are going to come across a number of that is characters, but Mukidanyi here is the main character. So is also the central character because the story revolves around him and some of his actions. So when we look at the title that is on a literary level, we are told that the money that Mukidanyi receives from the gallows, that is after selling his land, is described as speaking in strange, disembodied voices. So remember, when we talk about a literary level, we look at the meaning of a word literally. That is, let me talk about practically something of the sort. So this is a shocking and eerie moment for Mukidanyi as he and his wife hear the money talking from under their bed. So the money seems to have a life of its own and is described as playful and hungry. which adds to the eerie feeling surrounding the money. So by talking about the money talking alone, we can already be identifying. We can start identifying some stylistic devices such as personification, because in this case the money that is talking is given some human characteristics, that is human qualities. Huh? So when you look at it now, when you look at the title talking money now on a figurative level, it refers, that is, to the way in which money can influence and control people's actions and thoughts. Remember, they say that money is evil. Okay, the story hints at the fact that the money is the root of all evil, that is, corrupting those who have it and causing them to lose sight of what is truly important. So that is when you look at it on a figurative level, because in the story we are yet to look at the plot, but in the story we get to learn that uh, before Mukidani, sold the land to the gallows, before he received the money from the gallows, he was advised severally, that is by those close to him, including his wife, that is brothers, and name them. So, of which he failed to heed to their advices. So we can also talk about, some thematic concerns like a failure to heed to advices and the consequences that come as a result. So then what we have next, that is still under the title, when looking at that is the title on a figurative level, just to add on what I was saying. So Mukidani's wife and brothers warned him not to sell his land to the Gallo, and yet he did. So his decision was influenced by the promise of a large sum of money. And now that he has it, he has lost sight of what is truly important and is terrified of the money that is speaking to him. So, overall, the title Talking Money is appropriate for the story, as it not only refers to the literal talking of the money, but also the figurative way that money can control and corrupt people's actions. So, let's look at that is the plot, the plot of the story. So I'd given you a hint because I already introduced a number of characters and even talked about Mukidani selling a parcel of land against brothers and wives' advices, etc. So Talking Money is a story about Mukidani, that is a furious young man and a cattle trader who ignores his elder brother's warning against selling his land. So he sells a piece of land to the gallows, some shady characters, against the advice of his family and friends, only to find out that the money he is given as payment is cursed. So we are going to get to know how and why. So the story is set in the vast rural expanse of Kakamega, that is in Kenya. So Mukidani's brothers, by the names that is Ngoseyue and Agoya, give up on him and leave. That is after, advising him, and that is advising him several times not to give away the land. That is not to sell it. So obsessed with money in his mind, Mukidani refuses to heed to his wife's counsel, and instead he goes as far as, that is, flogging her. So when his clients arrived, that is the gallows, he receives them warmly, showing them the fertile land and offers to help where necessary. So they then negotiate without a tussle, for they accept his first offer without haggling, that is, without bargaining too much. So he takes the huge amount of money without counting it and signs the papers with his thumbprint, for he had played truant and naughty when his father Kizungu tried to take him to school. So again, we can also talk about that is the theme of education or illiteracy. That is based on Mukidani failing to go to school. That is despite the father's struggle to take him to school. So enthusiastic and excited about the money, he cannot sleep until he is attacked by voices at night, which his wife tells him are evil spirits. So he almost runs mad as that is as his wife laughs at him, Overwhelmed by nervousness and fear of the demons, he makes a decision to return the money, that is to the gallows. So the journey to the gallows is eerie to say the least, because Mukidani is haunted by unseen night creatures swimming around him, threatening to harm him. So he is nonetheless determined to return the peculiar briefcase to gallows. So the gallows receives a couple 100 yards away, but it seems like a mile. That is, they live a couple 100 yards away, but to Mukidani it seemed like a mile. So the case gets heavier and heavier as Mukidani, that is Lama's on. So the stubborn man eventually returns the money. He also makes a change, that is of tune, about selling his land. And that is seen when he says that I changed my mind about selling the land. Here's your money. So we can ask ourselves, that is the moral of the story. So always, listen to advices and do not also make impetuous decisions. That is, uh, uh, think, that is reflect before taking an action. So some of the episodes that we have in this story, dear students, is that is some of the striking. We have a number of episodes, but some of the striking the major episodes, Mukidani, that is dismissing his elder brothers when they come to advise him. So the arrival of the gallows and his lawyer for negotiation. So that is when he was now receiving the money and giving away the land. Then the last episode, that is the disturbing night of the evil spirits. Now that's what brings us to the title, that is the token money. So once again, I'm your teacher, Mr. Stanley Ombogo, and keep it easy, Limo. Until next time.